All right, Doris, now that I've listened to your history and kind of what you've told me about your condition, I kind of get a grasp of how frustrating your pain can obviously be for you. And I want you to realize that there are multiple factors that are actually contributing to your pain and the reason why you haven't gotten relief in such a long time. But first, I think one of the most important things for someone to get a grasp of why they're having pain is to truly understand their condition. Has anyone actually taken the time to tell you what RA actually is and how it can affect someone's life?
No, not really. I tried to do a little research on the internet by myself after the diagnosis, but not really much after that.
All right, well, I'm just going to take a little bit of time just to tell you. Well, technically, it's an autoimmune condition, and by autoimmune, I kind of mean that your immune system or kind of how you fight off certain things, and like diseases or when you have a cold, what kind of fights off those things, it's kind of working against itself in a manner. So, and it's also, RA is an inflammatory condition, so you get certain chemical compounds that accumulate in your joints, and those can definitely contribute to your pain. And that's definitely a very normal phenomenon to have pain, but I'm wondering also if you actually know why someone actually has pain. So in a sense, if you stub your toe, why do you actually perceive that as painful?
I don't
All
know
right.
anything.
No,
I'd love to learn
that's
more.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I'm here for. It's okay. So as I said, the pain that you're having is due to multiple factors.
Yes.
So say you do stub your toe on like a chair or a door or something like that. Before you can say ouch or start to rub your toe to try and get relief, there's actually a very quick process that goes on in your body. A signal is actually relayed from where you actually hit your toe up to your brain, and then you actually interpret that as being painful. It happens so quick, obviously you're not going to be thinking about it or anything like that. And this can be kind of equated to the pain that you've been having in your other parts of your body that you said and that we talked about earlier. So essentially, I know you said you're having pain in your hands. It could be kind of equated similarly to that. So like as you start to move your hands and whatnot, that sort of same kind of transmission up to your brain and down back to your hands is what's going on. And like I said, it's completely normal for you to have pain in this type of manner. But if someone starts to experience pain for extended periods of time, the body can react and adapt in a certain way so that the pain can sort of be altered in a manner. So instead of actually stubbing your toe and that quick process goes up to your brain and you feel the pain, you could stay in sort of a heightened kind of sense of pain, or you could stay in an irritated state as if your pain seems to be more amplified than it actually would be. So or your pain could be extended out for a greater period of time, if you will. Now let me ask you a question. Do you remember a time in the last 5 years, because I know you said you got diagnosed 5 years ago, that your pain wasn't as intense as it is currently right now?
Yes, definitely. It just started in my hands, and then it like just gradually really got worse over the past, 8 weeks especially. But
yeah, and since you said it started in your hands, I noticed on that chart that you filled out at the beginning where you actually drew on the chart where you were having pain, it was kind of widespread. And has that been a more gradual process, like you said, or has it been something that's been more towards the beginning of your diagnosis and then has gotten different?
no, I think it's just been like spreading over time like that. Like it just kind of, it's just been getting worse, and I just hurt literally all over my body, and initially it just seemed really minor, but now it's just way far gone.
And I understand that completely, and I have an actual analogy I can kind of use to help you understand why your pain's actually increase in intensity, but it's also kind of spread over a little bit. So bear with me real quick, and if you have any questions, just let me know. But if you can imagine your pain is like a home alarm system in your house or something like that, and say like, we'll go back to you stub your toe, that alarm system goes off, and then your neighbors that live close to you obviously would come over, check and be like, what's going on? And you turn the alarm system off, nothing's been going on at the house, they go back to their house and no one has a problem. Now if the alarm system keeps going off, obviously your neighbors are going to keep coming back over. They're going to get a little ticked off, get a little irritated, and then they're going to start to be a little over amplified in their signals as well. So that can kind of be equated to maybe why you're having widespread pain instead of having that localized pain that you were just having in your hands to begin with, and why it's maybe gone to other areas as well. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah, so my pain's like the alarm, right?
Yeah.
Like it goes off.
Yeah, your pain is like the alarm, exactly.
Okay, that makes some sense, yeah.
Okay. And like I said, your pain is very real, and I'm not trying in any way to make it seem like it's in your head or anything like that. I'm just saying it may be a little bit more amplified because your body has reacted differently over time to how you experience and perceive the pain.
Okay.
And then I also understand when we were going through the subjective and history that you've been going through some things at home and with your job and stuff like that. I completely understand why that could be stressful, and I know how it could be hard sometimes.
Yeah, just been really stressed at home and stuff.
Now, I have a question. Do you ever see that maybe when you are stressed out more often that your pain seems to be a little bit increased?
Well, now that you like mentioned that, it may seem to be like kind of correlated just with things, yeah, like the past 8 weeks with my pain working 2 shifts and then my daughter telling me that stuff, and I guess, yeah, in the past, but now that you like pointed it out, it makes it a little bit more clear, I guess, but I didn't ever think about that prior to this.
Okay. Well, I mean, stress can actually be one reason why your pain can actually be amplified, and you could be experiencing it at a higher intensity. And I'm not sitting here trying to just stop being stressed, because obviously that's not really going to work. I mean, it is very real, and there are certain techniques and things that we can do here in the clinic with PT to help kind of work with that, helping you get less stressed.
Okay.
So that's one way we're going to try to treat it and everything.
Okay, I would like that. It'd be good.
Yep. I also wanted to bring it to your attention one of the forms that you filled out at the beginning. It's the pain catastrophizing scale. Now this is a scale, you scored a 34 on this scale, and really don't pay attention to the number because it really doesn't matter. It's not a good score or a bad score. It's just more of an indication of how you perceive pain. Now, do you feel like you, throughout your day, when you're going about your daily activities, I know it's going to be a little bit different now, but do you notice yourself kind of always thinking about your pain and dwelling on that as well?
Well, like, it always affects me every day from, like, the morning I get up and the morning to the time I go to bed. So, I mean, I guess it's on my mind just because it bothers me so much. And any, like, movement I make, it, you know, kind of irritates it a little bit more. So, yeah, I think about it probably quite a bit.
Okay. Well, this is just a questionnaire that we like to give so we have a better idea of exactly what's going on and how we can actually go about treating it and stuff like that, your pain. But now that you have a better understanding of pain and how your body perceives it, I think we as a team can kind of work together and treat it with a more direct approach. So with your dedication and compliance, I really have no thoughts and that we can retrain your body and that you can start to perceive it better.
All right, I'd like that a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.